Hello there, welcome to SaberDuel Gaming, where we always take the high ground, and welcome to a retro review that rounds up a trilogy, as we are looking at Super Mario Bros. 3 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yes, we've already done retro reviews of Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2, and now it's time we wrap that up with Super Mario Bros. 3. When Super Mario Bros. 3 was released in October of 1988, it had a huge mountain to climb. Its two predecessors had been hugely successful, both commercially and critically, but also it faced a massive challenge from the other side of the border, in Sega's Mega Drive. The 16-bit console was released the exact same month as this 8-bit game was coming out on the NES, meaning that people were now being privy to graphics that this game and this console could not compete with in any way. It's kinda hard to compare Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario Bros. 1 to the second game in that trilogy because, as we've spoken about before, that wasn't really built as a Mario game, so a fairer comparison would be the original Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 3 took everything that was so successful in that game and expanded it dramatically. All of the quality of the Super Mario Bros. Gameplay was there, it followed that same pattern, but the expansion of it was visibly clear for all to see. For a start, the one world having 4 particular levels expanded massively. Suddenly we had a huge map for each world, and whilst there was only 7 worlds instead of 8, each one had way more levels than we'd seen in the original Super Mario Bros. The simplicity was still there in the gameplay, but the actual layout of the levels had a lot more depth. There was multiple different ways that you could go to get to the finish. You didn't actually have to complete every single level, but purists always would go back to try and do so. And this time around, the 2-player mode had a much more creative idea because instead of just effectively playing 2 separate games side by side, you actually competed on the same map. If one person died, all the levels they had unlocked were suddenly locked again. And so it made sense to work together as a team. This really laid out the first proper 2-player version of a Mario game. We were also introduced to new characters, and this time instead of just having to somehow magically fight Bowser at the end of every world, we instead went up against his different children, which gave us new characters to fight against, and it just added a little bit more depth and uniqueness to each world. The game is also famous for introducing a host of new power-ups, some of which would stay with Mario for many years, whilst others would never be seen again. But each of these gave Super Mario Bros. 3 a special and unique feel to any other Mario game ever made. Not only were they allowed to be used in the level as usual, but you could also complete a variety of mini-games with which you could win extra lives or these different power-ups and use them at any point during your quest. The minigames themselves were actually quite fun. They ranged from simply a lucky dip to completing puzzles, games of pairs, or going head to head with a hammer brother to try and unlock something from within his chest. The only downside with these was that while playing 2-player games, people were often left competing to see who got them. So, how was this game received on release? Well, unsurprisingly, it scored very highly, with an average mark of 98%. Paul Rand, one of the editors of Computer and Video Game magazine, described it as the Mona Lisa of gaming, with many others giving it equally high praise. However, despite this, there was some criticism aimed at the game, usually focusing on the visuals and sound. With the Sega Mega Drive already out, people had seen the next stage of gaming, and some people felt that this game had been left behind. But this was very much a minority view, with other editors calling it flawless, and one even stating that even in its 8-bit state, it leaves Sonic the Hedgehog looking like a wet Sunday morning, whatever that means. But if you are particularly concerned about the graphics, you have to then check out the 16-bit version of the game available on Super Mario All-Stars. If you add these 16-bit graphics to the game, it's beautiful. And I'm going to throw this out there right now. Forget the modern lens. This game is a work of art. I don't care if you played it in 1988 or if you're going to be playing it in 2028. The game is beautiful. And okay, I will say, playing the 16-bit version certainly enhances it, but even without that, the game is a work of art. It is platform perfection. If Super Mario Bros. Made the Mario character a star, it's this game that made him an icon. As for a rating, easily a 9.5 out of 10, and a rating I don't even have to think about. Please give me a comment below, let me know what you think, and feel free to give me a like. And if you were considering subscribing but weren't sure, do it.